Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. You've probably heard that relationships were 50-50. I would like to say that a good relationship is not 50-50. It's 100-100. I do believe that both parties need to put their 100% effort into the relationship for the relationship to work. It does take two to tango, because too often you see things like this happen. And I thought this was hilarious. Why are you watching our wedding video backwards? Oh, I really like the part where I take off your ring. I walk out of the church and I go to the pub with my friend. And what happens is that as we grow into our relationship, sometimes we take things for granted. We are not giving our 100% anymore, and we grow apart because there's lack of communication. And I'm not just talking about love relationship. It is Valentine's Day, but I'm talking also about work relationship. What happens between the first day and the 101st day? At the beginning, you start working with your coworker or your boss, and you're like, please like me. And then 101st day, you're like, I hate you so much. What happens in between? How do we bridge the gap? And one of the things is language. It's communication. I'll give you an example. Let's say the wife puts the garbage bag in the middle of the kitchen in the morning so that her husband would see it and take the garbage out. She comes home from work at the end of the day, the garbage bag is still there. She asked her husband, why is the garbage bag still there? And the husband said, oh, you didn't tell me to take it out. Because she is visual. She's very highly visual. So for her, putting the bag in the middle of the place is her own way of communicating in her own language. But her husband is auditory. He needs to be told with words and won't get it just with a visual sign. So you need to talk the language of your partner. And there's 4 big styles of personality. And maybe your partner is a leader. Maybe your partner is an influencer. Maybe your partner is a supporter, or maybe your partner is a thinker. You will talk very differently if you want to convince a leader to go to a movie than if you're trying to convince an influencer, or if you're trying to ask a supporter to give you a hand with something, or if you ask the thinker to give you a hand with something. So there are lots of different tools that we can consider. And in the Think Yourself a Relationship Pro, I do offer a lot of different tips on this. So like when you talk to a leader, you want to use words like, I like it when you mean a lot to me. I would love to hear your thoughts on. I trust you because you know. You decide. This will be our one and only chance too. Can you imagine in 6 months from now? Can I ask you a question about? The fact is, you decide because I know you know. This is the way that leaders like to be talked to. Then when we talked about the influencers like to have fun. How would you like to do that? Wouldn't it be fun to do this? Let's be spontaneous and do this. How do you feel? What do you think about? I'm going to do whatever you decide. I'm good with whatever you decide. Having a good time. How would you like to? Do you want to give this a go? I think this would be amazing. That would be something that you would like to do. I love that you do this. Then the supporter, you want to talk to them with words like this. This sounds like something we would love to do. Take your time and let me know what you think. How are you doing? I'm lucky to have you in my life. Thank you for all that you do. I would like to know how you're feeling. What are you thinking about? Your feelings matter to me. That would really be great. Let's figure this out. And the thinker, you would ask them, if you could help me understand, I need you for something. What would you like to do today? Let's plan dinner together at 7 p.m. and spend the rest of the evening together, and give them details, because thinkers love details. It makes sense. They like for things to make sense. Let's think this through. It's perfect, because thinkers, they love perfection. So knowing who is in your life and what is your own style is very useful to keep a relationship. And it's great to be with somebody that is not necessarily your own dominant style, but has a complementary style to you. So if you want to know what style you are, go check out the test. So it's a free test online, and then you find out what your style is, and then you could ask your partner to also do the test. Thinkyself.com/stylist. So let's remember, at the end of the day, we need to know how to communicate, because people are not perfect. And I love this. I always told myself that I would marry the man who could finish this sentence: a perfect man is, and then the guy responds, an oxymoron. And then she falls in love with him. I guess it's the same for a perfect woman. Nobody is perfect. And if we can learn how to communicate with people that are around us, that's how we can connect, and we can give our 100% to our relationship. Have a fantastic Valentine's Day, everyone, and I'll see you next week.